Evening to everybody. Hope you're all well and you're enjoying the live stream. If you're watching on playback, normally what happens is for about 45 minutes to an hour, the whole community, myself and me, we get involved with lots of questions and topics, everything Carp, help put more fish on the bank for you. So if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell notification icon and you'll never miss another one of my videos or live streams again. Just sort that out. Bit of a rush tonight, unfortunately. Hope everyone's well. Evening, Andrew Books. Simon Ward, evening. Thank you for the little Carpy squeaky toy. He's loved that. Evening, Roy Close. Alan Dixon, evening. Farron. Andrew Meeson on Facebook. Evening to you guys as well. Let me just check a few things. I want to make sure the stream's running well on both Facebook and on YouTube. Bear with me, guys, 1 second. Just want to check it's all working and running. Yeah, look like it's all running and working good. Right, let's get back to it. How is everybody? Who was out the weekend fishing? Who was out or trying to get into the Big One show? Evening, Dominic Carter, Paul Askew, Dave Booth. Evening to you guys. Carpy Steve-O, Dominic Carter. Oh, music is on, is it? Oh, let me just turn that off. Is that better, guys? Thanks for letting me know, Dom. Good to meet you as well, Andy Gowers at the Big One. Evening, Rooster. The Crazy Blind Carper, evening. Carpy Steve-O. He's on the bank. Well done, Carpy. 7.4 the water temperatures. It's slowly rising. It's getting there. Yeah, you like the t-shirt? Now, this is the new t-shirt I was waiting for, guys. I'll just show you. Look. This is the new t-shirt. It's only going to be on black one because you've got a darker black sort of panel behind the fish. But this is from the same guy, Jamie Smith, who did the Carpy Kettles. He's done a design for me, which is going to go on the t-shirts. And this is a softer feel fitted t-shirt. So these, in the next week or so, you'll be able to get these. And mouse mats. And cups and everything else. Here he is, look. Here he is. Star of the show. The fluffy creature. Evening, Gareth Garner. Dave Wright, evening. Well, I hope you do like it, guys, because I really like it. It's a really good... He's done a really good sketch. So it's going to... And there's 2 or 3 different ones. There's going to be the Burfield Common and a couple of other ones as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Evening, Rob Kettle. Brent Tomlinson. Even, thank you very much. It might take a little while to catch up with itself. Look at him, yeah. Yeah, good to meet you as Wayne. As also Wayne. I was eating me Choco Bar, wasn't I? Yeah, I know. The mighty fluffy one. Good to see you as well, Tarek. At the Big One show. Evening, Junior People. Sean Jarvis. Yes, the Big One was rubbish. The parking was a joke. Guys, I'm going to talk about this. Now, obviously, I was working there. So, on the Saturday morning, about 8 o'clock, 7:45, it took us half an hour to get in. Before anyone else arrived. They queued it back. I don't know why they don't open 2 or 3 other gates. And the parking is so far away, it's just crazy. I don't know how many of you guys were there. I mean, why would you go and... I mean, all the bait companies were moaning because people weren't buying any bait. The reason being is you couldn't walk a mile and a half to your car where you had to park it. Look, Neil Bunting says it took him 2 hours. I mean, how many of you guys it took an age to get in and then it also took ages to walk to the actual show and get in. Yeah, Neil Bunting took his mate 2 hours. Cheers, Russ. If you haven't seen the line stripper, it makes real good work of stripping out your line, that's for certain. Thanks, Lucas. Sunday was okay, Mark Lawrence. Yeah, because it's a little bit quiet with people. So I think they must have had a little bit of a discussion at the HQ there and tried to sort it out a bit better. Can I maintain that figure for a... Well, I've lost 2 stone, but I'm still... I don't know if I can maintain it. Not after this week's little session where I had burgers for dinner. Yeah, Nick Fiddlebond said it took him 2 hours to get in. I mean, 2 hours to get in. I mean, I'd turn around. After an hour, I'd be like... Or half an hour, I'd be like, no, sod this. Let's go. Evening, Mr. Mills. Yeah, as Paul Finesse says, new venue, bound to be teething problems. Yeah, I totally get that. Someone all says carrying 20 kilo nearly killed him. I think the show was smaller than last year. Sean Jarvis says, I think it was, I don't know, I think it was quite big. It's just laid out better, I think. I think the layout of it was really good. Yeah, Marty Davies, he's a good lad. Really like his YouTube channel, Marty Davies Fishing Adventures. Chris Lowry Lowe has finally broke his blanking spree at the weekend. Well done, Chris. Won't be long before everyone breaks their blanking spree. Evening, Charlie. Hope you're well, mate. The Vaping Carpet says, how would you attach a bag to the multi-rig? Another really good YouTube channel. Don't know what you're doing on here. But, yeah, how to attach a bag to a multi-rig. I would say the only time I've ever used a bag with a multi-rig was a little PVA mesh bag, a little tiny one of pellets, and I put a little PVA, a little tiny little PVA nugget in that mesh bag and hook the hook through that bit of PVA nugget. And also I put a little sliver of PVA nugget inside the D to stop it slipping if it did. So that is how I would do it, Vaping Carper. Oh, I think I missed one when Chris Wood rode out. Evening, Chris. Hope you're well. Another Essex legend. Yeah, I think Mark's right. I said it appeared small as the food was upstairs. Right, it was outside, but it was quite a big bit. It was out in the open air, wasn't it? The food bit. E. Green said, how are the new rods doing? Yeah, yet to catch one. They jinxed me so far. I haven't caught one of them, but they're casting lovely. And yeah, I really like them, actually. The Rod Hutchison Dream Makers, really, really nice. Phil Jarvis on the bank the weekend, £16 mirror. No problem, Vaping Carper. Always a pleasure, mate. And if you haven't been over to his channel, it's proper, real fishing. The struggles of a normal angler, you know. Get yourself over to the Vaping Carper. If you haven't already, I suppose a lot of you are already on his channel. Evening, Keith Oakey, hope you well. Kevin Alford, evening. Mark Renrick, evening to you, mate. Dominic Carter. I love you, Star. Always crack me up, Dominic. He tried to order a stripper from Amazon. They say they don't sell them. He thinks he may have misunderstood. Andrew Butcher says the water temperature was 8.5 today, but he's still blanked. Well, that is good compared to what it has been. Yeah, it was mega expensive, Mark, wasn't it? Those, I think it was 7 or 8 quid for a bloody sausage roll. It was mad. Evening, Tom from Holland. Evening, Mark Childs. John Adams says, you're going to watch the boxing the weekend? If so, who you fancy to win? Do you know what? I think it's going to be a real tight fight. I can't make up my mind who's going to win, Parker or the big man, you know? Thanks, Demi Hardoff. Thank you very much. Good to see you on here, mate, as well. And thank you very much for the super chat. Much appreciated, Dimmy. Evening, George Vane and Anthony Vane. Kevin Sanders out on the bank tonight, watching me. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to all you guys for supporting the channel and helping the community. You know, there's loads of things, questions I don't know the answers to straight away, which you've got far more knowledge on, and you help. It's never a silly question. I get sent questions, oh, this may be a silly question. It's never a silly question. Never, ever. Blanky Carpers, you never know. You never know, Blanky Carpers. Raymond Ellings, that's Slatlins at the weekend. I hope they show the boxing. I don't think you have time to watch the boxing, will you? Gary Pettis, hi Leon, what's made you go with SSP bait? Good question. Well, for you guys that don't know, I've got my own digital media company. And what I do is I consult my services out to whatever company. A lot of them are non-fishing company. One of them just so happens to be SSP bait. So I advise on their Facebook, their Instagram, all things like that. Just happen to be a fisherman, so because they're a client of mine, I use their bait and help them with, you know, getting the right liquids and getting the right ingredients in the bait and things like that. So that's to answer your question why I use SSP baits, because they are a client of mine. Can't be Steve, I said it's snowing in 2 weeks. Spring my ass. It wouldn't surprise me if it does bloody snow. Vaping Carp says, Leon, I'd love to see you do a backstory video of when you started carp angling and the catches you've had. I may well, at the next Northern Angling Show, I may well do my first ever slideshow next year. Maybe. Hi, Graham Rowland. Hope you're well, mate. Adam Hollins says, MCF lead clips, thoughts on them, please, guys. I've used the MCF lead clips, really good, but the only problem is I found that where the swivel doesn't move, you do tend to get tangles, but they eject the lead better than any lead clip system I've seen. But because that swivel's stuck in there, it doesn't revolve, there is no sort of swivel on it, then it tends to tangle when you cast out. If you can place them, they're brilliant. Luke Manty says, Line Stripper Leon, tell us more. You go and look at Vlog 1, the spring Vlog 1 on the YouTube channel, you'll see I talk about the Berkeley line stripper. There's a link at the bottom of the description where you can go and get one from eBay or Amazon, I think it is. But it's a full sort of how I use it to respawn me reels on there. No problem, Dominic Carter. Absolute pleasure, mate. Crazy Blind Carp said, any advice on chasing big carp? The big girls and boys have been seen for nearly 4 years, never done this style before. I've moved on to SSP. It's a good bait. In truth, all bait will catch a fish. If it's half decent, it will catch a fish. As for the big carps on the missing list for 3 or 4 years, I would say, one, they're either dead, which if they haven't floated up, then it's not likely. Two, they've discovered natural food. If it's a really weedy lake, then they're on their natural. You've just got to try and find them. Go on past captures where they've been caught from. That's what I'll do. Jamie Ward said, can you explain the difference in Polaroid lenses? Jamie, I think when you mean the difference in Polaroid lenses, do you mean what has a Polaroid lens got against a normal lens? Well, a Polaroid lens, what it does, it shuts out all the bright sunlight. So in other words, same with Polaroid glasses and a Polaroid lens on your camera, it makes you be able to see through the water. It takes off that surface glare from the sun and you can see deeper into the water. It does exactly the same thing with the lens. If you want to film into water, it will make it a lot more clearer with a Polaroid filter or being able to see with a pair of Polaroid glasses. Yep, Live System's a good bait, Ronnie McNeil. As I said, you've got to have confidence in the bait you're using. Doesn't matter what bait you use, most will catch. There's certain things I like in a bait, like liver, and things like that that I want in the bait, because it gives me confidence. Whatever you choose to use, whether it be sweet corn, whether it be an SSP boilie, a mainline boilie, a sticky boilie, if you've got confidence in it, then it's the best bait for you. Simple as that. Graham Ronan says when he stripped the line, he used an old bulk spool on a drill. Yep, very good way of doing it as well. Tom Marmon says, what laser pen do you use to keep the black chickens off your spot? I use a red and a green one. I've actually got a company sending me a purpose-built black chicken scarer in the next couple of weeks. So we'll be having a look at that to see if it does what you say it does. But apparently this is meant to be the one. So we will see. Colin Osborne says, Leon, how's the Bulin going? Still good? Yeah, absolutely love it. It's absolutely brilliant. Which brings me on to another couple of things. What we've got coming up in the next... well, in a couple of vlogs time, I'm going to be introducing lots of different bits of kit. Some which you can get off eBay, Amazon, but others from the mainstream. One of those is going to be the Ridge Monkey Duo Stoves. I know a lot of you have been asking me, what do you think of it? Is it any good? You know, etc, etc. So I've got one of those at the show. I'm going to be using that for the next couple of weeks and showing you what I think of it. Also, I've got myself one of these cooking sets for about 20 quid. That's got a kettle in it and everything. So we should be having, I've got that off eBay. So we'll be having a look, or Amazon I think it might be. We'll be having a look at that. What else we got? We've got all the other, because a lot of you guys have been asking about the Nash pinpoint hooks. So I've got some of the other patterns at the show as well. So I'm going to have a look at those and show you what rigs work best with them and seeing if they're sharp as they say they are and everything else. So we've got loads coming up in all the next 2 or 3 vlogs. And got a new bit of kit, a new temperature gauge, a laser one in vlog 2, which is out Monday. So watch out for all that stuff, guys. Also, message me if you want me to have a review on something. You know, have a look at something. If you say, oh, have a look at, you know, whatever. If I can afford it or I can get it, then I'll do a review on it. Yes, Tariq, Sandhurst is a day ticket venue. That's called Bazooka Wayne, see, yeah. Connie Osborne, you're buying confidence in a bag exactly when it comes to bait. Bait catches anglers just as much as it catches fish. It's as simple as that. You know, if you're happy with what goes in your bait and you're catching fish and you smell it, it's nice, and it says like it's got whatever it is in there, and it's like, yeah, I really like that, or that's a nice sweet smell, I like that, or a nice fishy smell. If you've got confidence in it, that's the bait for you. Doesn't matter who makes it, doesn't matter how much it costs, that's the bait for you. Loads of stuff coming up, Jason. Dave King says he's fishing in France, mate. Bad weather, not had a bleep in 5 days. That's not good, Dave, is it? Try single hook baits near snags or something. If it's really bad and cold, look for the snags. If you can put a bait near the snags. Luke Mantis says, Leon, you talk a lot about temperature. How accurate do you think the deeper temperature sensor is? Not really too sure. How accurate is any of them? You know, how accurate are any of them? The ones I use, I would say they're a rough guide. The deeper pro temperature gauge, I'd say, is a rough guide. Matthew Randall says, Gardner's hand sharpened hooks are sharper than the Nash, as I found out last week. I think they probably are sharper, Matthew, for the simple reason is that they're actually hand sharpened. So the Nash ones are straight out the packet. So straight out the packet, I would say the Nash pinpoint ones, I've had a look at them and they're pretty damn sharp. A hand sharpened hook's always going to be sharper than a one out of the packet. Exactly, Brian. You know exactly what goes in your bait. You know exactly what you want in your bait. That's what gives you confidence, doesn't it? And you can't say fairer than that. Evening, Dior. Hope you're well. No, it's an absolute pleasure, Dior. Louis Smith says, any stuff for a competition today? Not at the moment, but there may be one on the horizon. You never know. I'll see what I can beg, borrow and steal off some of the companies. And we might have a little bit of a subscriber giveaway or competition where you got to do something or whatever. See what I I'm always trying to work on things. I normally get sod off, but we'll see. Sean Schuster said, "Hi Neil, do you find syndicate waiting lists are a load of cobblers and it's more a case of who you know? I've been down on many for years and fear I'll die waiting." Sean, I think it depends on the lake and the waiting list. You know, I know a lot of people get through the back door. I know people who've been on the waiting list 2 or 3 years and they can see their name going up the thing and they get a ticket. It just depends on the people who are running that waiting list. Could do a comparison between the 299 eBay one and the deeper one. Quite possibly, Jason. Yeah, that's a good idea. That I'll have to remember that. Evening, Melvin. Hope you're well. Jim Louch says, "Leon, have you tried the ASO Tetra Max line? Been on it for years, never found anything to compare." I haven't. I know ASO went into Carp lines a good couple of years ago, didn't they? But I haven't seen them. I haven't had a chance to actually have a look at some in my hand. Andrew Brooks is out on a 48-hour coconut farm, Long Lake, CC More Water. Any lakes up, please? 678 next week. Give away a black chicken mug. I'd love to. Not just yet, though, because I'll give a massive load away on the 10,000 subscribers, so you have to wait. Could I review White Lightning Insider? Dominic? Maybe. How much? Richard Edney says, Bluebell season ticket, £1,000. Evening, Grace. Tommy Tucker says, Leon, your thoughts on the called adjustable zig kits? I haven't really looked into them, Tommy. At the moment, I'm not doing a lot of zig fishing. I wish I was, because it's prime time for it now. But the lakes I'm fishing are only 4, 5, 6 foot deep maximum. But it's something I'm probably going to buy and do a review on it in the summer. Evening, Paul Watson. Len Young says 6 years for him to get in the Park Lake. Yeah, but you did get a ticket, didn't you, Len? Exactly, Colin Osborne. As anglers, we're spot for choice with bait. So many good baits out there. It's all about confidence in what will catch for you. Exactly. Exactly, 100%. Evening, Peter. Evening, Jason. Darren, like your style. Yeah, the Crazy Blind Carp said, just purchased a digital thermometer from China with a 1 metre lead. It costs £4. Exactly. You know, there's links down on this live stream as well for digital thermometers, boiling stove, lots of it. If you've been talking about it, the links are normally down below. You like the t-shirt, Tommy? Who else likes the t-shirt? They'll be available soon. This is a new soft touch material, this one as well. What do you think of that? It's nice, isn't it? I quite like it. I quite like it in the black. Jack Kane says, really good question. How would you target an extremely busy and difficult lake that has seen everything over the years? I try and do something different to what everyone else is doing. Work it out. When you get down there, there's a couple of things I'd try. I'd watch what everyone else does. And there'll always be a pattern what people do, because that's how they've been catching the fish. People could be fishing long, no one's fishing the margins, so I'd fish the margins. Everyone's fishing boilies, I'd fish particle, or vice versa. Do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. Everyone's, you know, could be fishing zigs, fish on the bottom. You know, just do opposite to what everyone else is. If it's really hard and they're not catching, don't do what they do. Or, as John No Carp Wallace says, go back to basics. Daryl Flint says, hi Leon, what's your opinion on the trend towards 9-foot rods like the Nest Scope? Well, if you're fishing little lakes and you want to get in between trees and things like that, or if you're having to bury your stuff a long way, which I was a couple of years ago, I was using the Nest Scopes, and I don't think you can beat them. For lightness, for the shortness, for specific lakes where you don't need a 12-foot rod. You know, it's or for the lightness. There you go, Desi One Ball. He bought one of the thermometers off the link. He's had it a few months. He's still going strong. £2. bloody hell, Andy Goer says he's got hailstones on the bank now. When I was travelling back yesterday, this morning I was travelling back from the lake, it said it was 4 degrees during the day. You know, and the little snow or ice indicator comes up, that was popping up all the time. I'm thinking, bloody hell, almost in April, and it's saying 4 degrees in the morning. Like, this is about 11 o'clock. Couldn't believe it. Simon Wall, Park Lakes, $2 grand a year. Very expensive. Very expensive. I only just paid the first instalment yesterday. Should have come over, Jason, but I know it was pretty crazy, wasn't it? Good evening, Carl. Yeah, Brian Mills says 9-foot rods are great for overgrown lakes. Exactly. You know, for any of the things, if you need to travel distance, you want a light setup, or you're fishing little lakes or overgrown lakes, or need to get in there amongst 2 bushes or something, then, you know, Fluffy one's great. He's down there at the moment. Evening, Ian Smith. Tubby Carp says, is the 10 minutes worth the extra dough compared to Brolly? I think there's a new... I spoke to someone who works for Tracker, and they said Tempest Air is all right, but obviously the V2 or the proper Brolly or the bivvy system is so much better. The Tempest Air actually fits inside the V2, he told me. It's a lot smaller. So for overnighters and that, Tempest Air, I think it's not a bad Brolly. Yeah, be lucky, Anthony, if you're out tomorrow, 36 hours. What's my thoughts on small lakes and fish only being caught at the margins? I've experienced this a few times. Graham, small lakes I've found are the hardest lakes to fish. They're a lot more pressured. They're a lot more under the cosh from anglers. And I must say, I've caught majority of my fish from small lakes in the margins. I don't know why, and over the year, even thinking about it years ago, like Sutton D-Daps, when it was mega, it was only days only. Caught them from literally underneath the bank, putting a rod where no one else, even in the margin, so close to the margin, they'd undercut the margins. I just find small lakes the hardest lakes to fish. Big lakes, they're a lot easier, so fish move about a lot more, not under constant pressure. And I found them, if you can find them, in the big lakes, you can catch them. On the small lakes, even if you find them, they know you're there fishing for them. Andy Goer says he's in the Tempest there now. He has plenty of room. Yep, Daniel Wellington's got the old building stove from China. Cracking bit of kit for the money. Mango Gaming is taking part in the BYCAC on B2. Any advice? Couple of things I would do, Mango, on the B2, because there's a load of fishing now. Depends when you're doing the British Junior British Championships. Zigs and Spodding, or little bags and little bits of plastic, or, you know, little 10mm boilies and things like that. They like bits over there. That's what I'll do. I'd have at least one on a zig. Luke Nods says, Copewall is a 5-minute walk from my house. Is it worth fishing? I did a little bit on there a few years ago, Luke. Absolutely loved it. It depends if you like all the... It's a park lake, but there's some lovely cracking fish in there. Still there's someone. Method, Jason Sooty Allen says, would be another good way to go on B2. Evening, Kev Spencer. Wayne Nippard, evening. Yeah, great talking to you as well, Wayne. I got a few bits, Wayne. I got the Rich Monkey dual stove, because I know you guys have been asking me to do a review on it. So next couple of weeks, I'm going to be using that with the Rich Monkey and the kettle and all that. And also, I've got a few other little bits from eBay that I'm going to be doing a review. And I've got some of the Nash pinpoint hooks, but the different patterns to what I've got. So we'll be having a look at that. Evening, the Manchester Carp. I hope you're well. CEO Fish says, Leon, have I been to the US? I've been to the US, but not fishing, on holiday many years ago. I would love to go do some carp fishing in the US, that's for certain. Kevin Hayes says he purchased the Unilight cap light after seeing my review. What do you think of it, Kev? I think it's a great little light. Because another thing to do, if you haven't seen my review on the Unilight cap light, go and have a look at it on my YouTube channel. And it's not only is it for a cap, but you can actually put it on the side of your brolly and use it as a normal light. It's a real nice, for about 20 quid I think it is. It's a real nice little rechargeable USB hard wearing, made by a proper light company, you know. Loads of Carp in the US. I'd love to go there. I bet you can't match the Carper. Evening, Lee Silverback. So, who went to the Big One show the weekend? And did you get... What did you buy? What did you get yourself at the Big One show if you was there? Or even that, anyone, this is open to anyone, what was your last purchase? What was your last bit of fishing tackle that you purchased? You thought, I've got to have that, I fancy that. Or, you know, what was the last bit of fishing tackle, bed chair, hooks, bait, that you purchased? Yeah, Derek McCall bought the Unilight, so it was excellent as well. Well, maybe I might come over, CEO Fishing at some point, and do a little bit of fishing in the next couple of years. That'd be brilliant. Nick Booker Carp, we've got Navitas hoodie. Andy Hornby, Jag stage bites. Gary Kane says, best camera for taking pics, not mobiles, a camera. Depends on your budget, and it's all down. It's not to do with the camera, it's to do with the lens. Anyone I say who starts up, get yourself 50mm lens. Can't be on with Kev, SSP pop-ups, well impressed. I've got Vision Bivy and Nash Siren S1, Master Copper JR2, Bivy, bloody hell, it was going crazy. DNA 50 kilo switch boilies for Aaron. Called the tackle safe, Jason, yeah, I got one myself. Still working really, really well, really like it. TFG air bomb, just waiting to arrive. Nash Pinpoint Hooks, Fenland Carpers, MJ Murr, hi mate. Little shout out to Matilda, her birthday's on Friday. Good to see you as well, Stu. He also bought some new wafty joggers. Last for Robert was a GTHD line. Hook file, Ross McDaniel, another set of Mark 1 Nev buzzers, which was slug bobbins. Carl Gilbert, 12 bottles of gas for 30 quid at the Big One. Gas, Paul Finetch. Garden Left 3 Leaders by Kevin Davis. Andy Gowers, Rich Monkey Square Cup. Kevin Haynes, load of hooks. Nash, quarter, 2 quid a packet. Gamma Hertz and Goods, they're a proper hook company, CEO Fishing. Set of 4 ATTS alarm received for Dominic Tomlin. GWL 78, my TFG air bomb is getting picked up tomorrow from the post office. Toilet roll holder, Kevin Miller. Scope Bivy, Trent Bate. God, we've been having a proper little spend up between us, haven't we? Proper little spend up. Thomas Henry Myers, 10 kilo SSP System X. Keith Oakley bought 2 Signet Mini tripods. To put 2 Rhino lights on, 1 at each corner of cradle for better light and photos. Yeah, they will really help, Keith. Ben's got an £8 sausage at the Big One. And then appendix out. Oh, bloody hell, Ben. I know I had one of them £8 sausage rolls. God, black chicken hoodie, Billy No Mates. Yeah, thank you for supporting the channel. Don't forget, guys, got all the kit, all the hoodies and t-shirts and what have you, cups and mugs and God knows what on the website, leoncarper.com. Go into the shop, there'll be loads of stuff in there. And these will be on there soon. The new t-shirt designs. Dave Booth got a smack off his missus for buying end tackle. Yeah, seems like the industry's making money, Andy. Yeah, Neil Bunting says the air bombs have been breaking already. I see that on Facebook earlier before I come on here. A couple of those air bombs have been breaking, haven't they? I haven't got myself one yet. Sean McGlynn, Evolution Maggot Clusters, yep, I use them myself. Dennis Williams says, Leon, you ever use leaders with no lead in it? I've tried to use leaders with no lead in it, but I found it very, very difficult to splice or tie or anything like that. Dominic Carter, didn't actually buy, but an awesome black chicken t-shirt from my favourite online carp fishing personality, the Carp Dog. Cheers, Dom. Yeah, you was lucky enough to win one, wasn't you? Yes, Keith, it won't be long, and these will be available. I'll be putting them up over the Easter, hopefully. Paul Watson says, Leon, any thoughts on that dive deep putty? Is it any good? It is good, but it's not a putty as such. It's for rubbing up and down on your hook links or on your leaders and things like that. It doesn't form. It's like a mud, you know. So in that respect, it's good for pinning down your braided hook links. Cheers, Wayne. Old school hoodie, top hoodie, John. Signed Dave Lane's Fine Lines book, Nick. David Bryce says, hey Leon, any thoughts on the Gemini leads they let go on Impact the Water? Yeah, I've seen them advertised on that, but I haven't actually seen them in the flesh. Although, say, I might have done it on one of the shows. I might have seen a little glimpse of one. If you get you an extra 5-10 yards for people who want to get that extra yard, or 10 yards or 15 or whatever it will do, then yeah, get them. But not for me, because I don't tend to fish very far out. Cheers, Peter. Hope you like the t-shirt. SS Carp Limit says, any thoughts on ground black pepper in particles? You're best off to get the essential black pepper oil. Essential black pepper oil, that's the one. Keith Oakley said, Leon, if you only had one main line to use, what would it be and why? Oh, that's a very difficult one, because I like the GTHD, I like the Dow sensor, and I like the, I think it's the Fox Warrior line as well. Two of them are mega cheap, the other one's about 20 quid. GTHD at the moment. Chili Hemp is good. Manchester Carper, no problem, David. Dominic Carter, small compact unhooking mat. New Fox RX alarms have been going back as they're letting water in. Oh my God, that's not good, Simon, is it? Tarek bought some Shimano 10,000s. Sensor, love it. Paul Morris, yep. I don't think, well, it's one of them lines which, for a tenner a spool or however much it is, you can't go wrong with it. You can afford to change it 2 or 3 times a year. James Magic says, Leon, do you glug and refreeze your hook base? Yes, I do. This is the way I do with my hook baits and my baits. Okay, I have a shelf life or frozen, but mainly with frozen because they react better to liquids and things like that. I get them out the freezer. I leave them about half an hour, so you get a lot of that water still in the bag. I'll give them a little glug of whatever I'm using, better stim, salmon oil, you know, hydrodized liquid liver, chili liquid, you know, hemp oil, whatever it is. Give them a tiny little glug to glaze them over, to let them suck it in while they're defrosting. Then once they've defrosted, suck those liquids in, whatever liquids you're going to use, they're just some of the ones that I use. Then I put things like liver powder on there, green lip mussel, not loads, just enough to coat them, to suck it in, and may put a little bit more in. And then I'll reseal it up, give them a good shake, leave them for at least 24 hours. I'll probably take some fishing with me after that 24 hours. I'll bring them back and then I'll refreeze them if I need to. I don't chuck them away. I always refreeze them until they eventually go off after a couple of weeks. Waiting for the steak burglar hoodie when it comes out, David. Kevin Miller, that will be very shortly, I believe. Talking to Kev, who runs SSP Baits, that should be just after Easter. Sticky Baits Krill's a good bait as well. Dominic Carter said he's had an air bomb for 35 years. He's called a catapult. I love using catapults. Pete Costin says, get the dot spod beats the spom hands down. Keith Opie says, I've got a spom and I've got a dot spod, or dot spot, or whatever it's called. I haven't used the dot spod, but my initial impression of the dot spot, or whatever it's bloody called, is that it's quite flimsy. It doesn't look that well made, but from what I'm hearing, it's very good. So when I get a chance to spod, I'll be taking both and do a little bit of a comparison. Yes, I was at the big one, T800. I was on the Summit tackle stand, a little way in from where all the food was. All depends, Peter, how often you can refreeze them. Time of year, in the winter, you can get away with it about 2 or 3 times. In the summer, probably once or twice at the most. Thoughts on the Nash old school boilies? Not too sure. There you go. Dot spot broke on his first cast. John No Carp Wallace. Yep, they had a very good layout, Andy. I mean, they do some really... I mean, their stuff is engineered. It's top quality. You only need to buy it once, you know? Good. I'm glad you got your sex, drugs and carp fishing t-shirt today, Mark. Exactly, Rob Humphrey. People so obsessed with distance fishing when most of my carp are from the margin. Exactly. I only fish 40, 50 yards maximum. Yep, I've never had any problems with my spom either. I'm looking forward to using the dot spom, or dot spot, or whatever it's bloody called, when I get a chance to do some spotting, which will be in the summertime. Luke Adams says, birthday coming up. Any bivvy tackle think I should take a look at that could be useful? Get yourself a pair of Polaroids, if you haven't got any, Luke, for one. And get something which is going to make you feel comfortable. Get a decent stove, you know, so when you're actually fishing, you're comfortable. Hayden Potter says, do you prefer the original Northern Special pop-ups or the new kind of them from CC Moore? I've smelt them a few times, but I've never actually used them. Maybe the guys on here who use them could give their views. Yeah, Dennis Williams had 330s free lining. I know a guy who he fishes free lining a lot, and it's like he'll see a cruising carp and he'll fish like a prawn or a mussel, and he'll cast it free line in front of it, let it slowly go down, and he's caught loads of fish. I've watched him catch them like that. Wayne Nipper says, does Mrs. B exist, or is she fictional like Arthur Daly's her indoors? Well, she's actually there, and she's actually heard me say it, but she won't come in and say hello. Do you want to see Mrs. B?
No.
Do you want to see Mrs. B?
I've got my hair in curling.
That doesn't matter. Look, guys, do you want to see Mrs. B? Let her poke her head in. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. You're gonna. She's not having none of it. No, look, they all want to see Mrs. B.
No, you're gonna have to tell face.
No, just poke your head round quickly. No, she's not having none of it. She's just gone in the bathroom and locked the door. See, they don't believe you exist. She's not having none of it, lads. Not having none of it. Mrs. B is not. She's locked the door of the toilet and gone in there. Carp dog's here, but Mrs. B, she's not having any of it. Shooter Brett Morgan says, need a new kettle, Leon. Have you a link for the engraved ones? If you go to Carpy Kettles on Facebook, message him, Jamie Smith, he'll be able to give you all the rundown on them. She's very shy, Nick, very shy. Michael Evans says, hi Leon, what dots, rod, spod, rod, whatever it's called, would you recommend? Do you mean the rod to use? I'd use a spod rod. I can't give you an impression on the dot spom yet because I haven't used it. I've only used the spom and I've been very happy with that over the years. Am I Mrs. B in disguise, Rob Humphrey says. Only on a Sunday. Quick, just poke your head round. Just poke your head round here very quickly. Look, look, you might get to see Mrs. B quickly.
Hello. There you go.
There you go. That was Mrs. B. The maker of the best curry and food in the world. No, Fox Bomb's no good, Peter Costin. She wasn't Slutling, Simon. Oh, maybe she weren't. Maybe she's telling me she was and she weren't. Evening, Luke Wicks. I haven't tried the spam yet. I will do. In the next few months, I'll try the spam. Thank you for giving it to me. Thanks, Rambo. Bless her. Bless her, eh? Keith Oakey didn't see any. All you saw was a little face pop round about here. That was it. Mark Saxon says, that's a right Chatham accent. Which is half traveller, Paul. That's probably why. Fishing a new water, bigger than normal. Any tips, mate? Mark Saxon. Right. Well, I tell you on a big water. I've fished a few big waters in my time, and it's all about location. Everything is about location. They follow the wind. You know, it's all about location. I used to walk and walk and walk round and just get up early in the morning, stay up late, listening for them. You're best off spending your time trying to find them on these big waters. As soon as you find them or you see one, you've got to move on to them straight away. Chris Weeks says, Mrs. B's better looking than me, 100%. Jason Sooty Allen said, is she getting ready for a meeting with Marks and Spencer's tomorrow? Probably. Well, I would say 50 acres, 100 acres, Andy, is a big water to me. Well done, Ben. Who's my carp fishing idol? Oh, I tell you who I used to like was Chris Yates, Rod Hutchinson, Richie McDonald. Bloody, there was loads of them. Evening, Paul Bradley, up you well. Peter Wood says, Lil, never used shock leaders before. How long does the leader have to be? And how do I ensure the knot is always at the back of the spool? Do I have to do this manually winding? Peter, I won't worry about a knot at the back of the spool. This is what I do. This is what I do on my normal rods. This is what I do on my spodding rods. This is what I do on my marker rods. I don't really use a marker, but I use a spod every now and again. But this is what I do for leaders, even on my normal carp rods. I use fluorocarbon as my leader. 18 pound, 20 pound plus, 24, something like that, whatever make you want to use. And I do a back-to-back grinner. So the two knots butt up to each other. Back-to-back grinner. And I don't cut them really down fine. I leave a tiny little tag in, because then when you pull it, it actually slips in, works lovely. And I use twice the length of the rod. So if I'm using a 12-foot rod, it'd be 24 foot. If I'm using a 10-foot rod, it'd be 20 foot. And I wind that on with the of the fluorocarbon. And then what I do is I tie the end of the fluorocarbon onto my barra or a tree or something like that, and I just pull it back slowly to where the knot is on the spool. One turn round, and I pull it back and I straighten the fluorocarbon out. And I never have any snap-offs or anything like that. I don't even look where the knot is on the spool. I just keep it wet when I can. I give it a few. But then again, I don't fish mega far distances. So I hope that helps. Yeah, Richie McDonald was good. Rob Malin as well. You know, Rod Hutchinson. Yep, definitely a legend, Richie McDonald. I tell you who else who I used to look at his writings was Tim Paisley and Julian Cundiff. Them two guys. Thanks, John No Carp Wallace. Hopefully we'll meet up sometime at Willow or Farlow's. Always best to keep it wet, Andy. Yep, and my man after your own heart. Terry Richard Edney. Yep, he's a legend. I know Terry, and he's yeah, he's unique. He is unique as a carp angler. Simple as that. Jim Gimminson. Yep, Danny Gleed. Gary P. from Tackle Box, I don't know about that. Yep, Andrew Hosier. Tim Paisley, I used to watch his well, no, not watch, what am I saying? I used to read his little excerpts in, I think it was, in Carp World. I'm talking like, probably it must be 30 years ago, something like that. 20 years ago, of his winter campaigns and all that, from the Bivvy book and that. And, you know, when he fished up at Orchid, I remember that vividly in my mind. When he fished at Orchid and he'd done a series over the months of the winter, where he was fishing it. Franco, evening Franco. Young gun now, Franco. What's the difference between freezer baits and shelf life? Freezer baits have preservative in them, so they don't go off, so the ingredients in them don't go off. Freezer baits don't have preservative in. I say that because most companies that I know what goes in their freezer baits, they put a tiny little bit of preservative in there to stop them going off. So both lots of baits have a little bit of some preservative in there. No, Tariq, I've never fished. I love it, Bank Tramp. How am I adjusting to the new Tempest, pros and cons? I haven't found any cons yet. I haven't found any cons. The only little con I would say that I found is I use a skull cap and it cuts down the condensation, but anything below that, the level of the skull cap, you do tend to get a little bit of condensation every now and again. But for putting it up quickly, having it as a full-blown brivvy with a ground sheet, or having it low, I think the material's good, waterproof, goes up in seconds, goes down in seconds. I don't think there's any drawbacks with it that I've found so far, apart from when you use the skull cap and the line below the material, you do tend to get a little bit of condensation. Yep, Dominic Carter says most people's fishing idols is probably their old man who probably first took them fishing. Yep, totally agree with Dominic. Kev Green, now there's a legend from the past, Paul Fenech. He taught me a lot and was my best mate in the office until he sadly passed away. Great, passionate angler. Yep, he was. I used to speak to Kev every now and again. Really nice guy. And funny thing is, Paul, I'm going back to a favourite lake of his in May, Etang Monier. That he did some videos on there and he liked, you know, so yeah, gone but not forgotten, Paul, definitely not. Fred Wilton, Jack Hilton, Rod Hutchison, main anglers who you looked up to, Brian Mills. Yep, we're showing our age now, Brian, aren't we? Evening Wayne, the Pinky Carpo. Yeah, good to see you as well, mate. Yeah, the food was very dear, wasn't it? No problem, Chris. Dad and Son Fishing says, what is your top rig? I get asked this question an awful lot. Top rig is I try and adapt my rig to what I'm fishing over. So, for instance, I put it into two categories, pop-up or bottom bait. If I'm fishing a weedy water, I will always go straight in with a pop-up. Because it sits on top of the weed or there's a few strands about. And if you think about it from a carp's point of view, most of their food is in the weed. If I'm fishing a lake with hardly any weed in, or it's a lovely clear gravel spot, I always go for a bottom bait. Always, it's a lot clearer. So the rigs may differ from time to time, multi-rig, hinge stiffy, or bottom rig, or you know, or braided bottom rig, or a D rig. But it's either one of the two, pop up or bottom bait. Simple as that. And it all depends on what bottom I'm fishing over. Wayne Nipper said, Kevin Ellis, Carp royalty. I know Kevin very well. My sister used to work for him when she was younger. I was speaking to him a couple of weeks ago, actually. He does some very good videos. Louis Warman says, thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate the support to the channel. What rig are you recommending for spring? I tend to use in the spring a lot of pop-ups because all the weeds starting to come up, little strands and bits and pieces. I will tend to use, like when I go on the Alien Lake, I will use the multi-rig. I've been using the hinge stiffy over the winter, but I will be using the multi-rig because it's a lot more adaptable to be fishing over little bits of weed or little holes in the weed. It just settles better rather than having a bit of a stiff boom. It settles with the coated Hooklink a lot better, and you can adjust the height and you don't have to re-tie up a new boom section or a new stiff part. You just change the hook. So I would say, check out, Louis, the multi-rig. How to tie it. There's a video on my YouTube channel, excuse me, all about the multi-rig. Go and check it out. Yeah, Keep Open says you won't go far wrong with the multi-rig. Mark Thomas. Mark McKenna? Don't think so. Duncan K, legend. Yep, Duncan K's legend. He's sadly passed away. Aaron Powell says adjustable or fixed zigs in a weedy water. That's a difficult one for a weedy water. I would have initially said adjustable because it just gives you so much more versatility of putting that hook bait up and down in the water. But if you're fishing a weedy water with I'd fish a fixed zig and have it so the lead falls off. So you're not going to get that lead caught up in all the weed. No problem, Ronnie. Thanks for popping in, mate. GWL78 says, what code Hooklink do you use for the multi-rig? I use a few different ones. The PP Products Jelly Wire, the you know, that one is the main one I've used over the years on and off. There's a few other ones as well. Christen Snake Bite is a very, very good one as well. Dad and Sunfish said, what is your best pop-up and bottom bait? It just all depends on what I have in confidence in. Yep, Cuddiff done a very good video on the multi-rig as well, Keith Oakey. Chris Burns says, what depth do you think the lake has to be to use zigs? It could be any depth really for fixed zigs, but adjustable zigs that I like to use has to be about 8 foot plus for me. So I like to fish my zigs 6 foot. Andy Little's very good in his day. Cheers, David Bichelle. Who is out this weekend fishing? Who's going out over the Easter madness, rush madness of loads of people on the bank? Who is going out this Easter fishing over the weekend? Yes, Ben Scott, you can still use the skull cap, even having the Tempest low. I had it last night, I had it low, and I still had the skull cap on. Little Paul Tyson. Little say hi to his son Nathan. He's just been making some Ruby Murray boilies ready for his first French trip in 10 days. Good luck, Paul. Let us know how you get on with Nathan. Send me a message. Post up in the Only Takes One Bite close Facebook group. Guys, look out for these t-shirts over Easter, which will be going up on the website. Also look for any of the other hoodies and t-shirts and mugs and phone cases and loads of stuff on there. Only Takes One Bite, the Carp Dog, Black Chickens, loads of stuff on there. On the shop on my website, leoncarper.com. Also, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Hit the like button for this video. Would be most appreciated. Jason, so he's not a chance. If he's go next week and fish singles, I'll make you right, Jason. Later, Robert. Craig Sawyer's in Cancun. You lucky sod, Craig. Pete Grimmer's doing 48 hours of Willowcroft Friday. Good luck. Let us know how you get on. Dennis Williams out. 170 acre reservoir. Kevin Miller's out with his son. Jan Port was a great all-rounder, Wayne. Really nice guy. I saw him about 6 months before he passed away as well. I should be on air Sunday. We should be doing a live stream Sunday night. Hi, Billy No Fish Ian. I really, Casman, Camelite, Leon, what's your thoughts now you have used the Manhart mug? I really like the Manhart mug. I think it's a really good bit of kit for the money. I think they had £2 off or something as well, $11.99, something like that, on Amazon. There's a link down below. It's yeah, I really like it. Keeps your tea really hot for a long time. I'm looking forward to putting the ice in it and the Coke and all that for Diet Coke, by the way, guys, not the good stuff. Little Carp is out Friday, Sunday, fingers crossed. Lindsay Davis is out first thing in the morning. Couple of nights, Mark Saxon on a 60 acre pit, lovely. I should be out next Monday, hopefully, Chris. Look at that, look, you see that little tail going, Carp Dog. Shoulda Morgan's back in his state lake in Sussex weekend. Hope to report back. Yep. Guys, let us know. If you're not already a member of the close Facebook group, go and do a search on your Facebook page. Just type in, it only takes one bite. Just one word. Report your catches on there. Report if you're struggling. Ask as many questions you like. It's a really good close Facebook group. Get yourself on there, guys. I want to know how you've done this weekend. If you're not already a member, go and be a member of it. But also, if you are a member, let us know how you get on. Love to see who's catching, where you're catching them from, what you're catching them on. Be great to see it. Franco's going out next Monday or Wednesday night. Well done, Franco. Let us know how you get on. Andrew Hosey said, his Mrs. H just said she's looking forward to 10 days without picking up beer cans behind me. I love it. Never had a canal carp, Dave. I've had a river carp, but not a canal carp. Nick's out Friday till Monday evening, Carl. Terry, might go if you can get the time. Well, guys, we've run over the hour mark, so I'm going to wrap it up in a minute. Guys, as always, I appreciate every single one of you for being a subscriber, for tuning into the live streams, but it wouldn't be the community and the subscribers and the people we get on the live stream on Facebook and YouTube without you guys. If you're watching on Facebook, get yourself over to my YouTube channel, subscribe, hit that bell notification key, and then you'll get notified every time I release one of my videos. And I will see you Sunday night for the next live Sunday night subscriber Q&A with me and you, the community. Also, check out the kit, the mugs, the hoodies, the t-shirts on the shop, leoncarper.com, and these new t-shirts, the new Carp swimming in the pads, are going to be on the website the weekend. Right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Must go. Got to go and see if Mrs. B's all right after a little bit of stardom for a few seconds on YouTube. She might not have been able to handle it. And the Carp dog says hello. Yep. Up here. No, maybe not. He's got his bones, so we don't want to come up and say goodbye. So cheers, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And I will see you Sunday night, 8 p.m. Sunday night, for another live Q&A with you guys and me. Have a really good rest of the week. See you soon.